Excellent. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Our series is called Halt Journeys, and this is webinar number 3. And today we'll be speaking about Halt's Founders Lab, which is an incubator that was started at Halt in 2016. But before speaking about Halt Founders Lab, and I've brought along two members of the lab that will present themselves and tell you a bit more about their journey and exactly what they've done and what they're doing. Before getting to that, I wanted just to speak to you a little bit about who is Halt and what we do. This is very brief, but just wanted to get the word out there. Halt is a business school that was created in 1964. And it was rebranded to Halt in 2003. And ever since it's been sort of the mentality of Halt has been to be as international as possible, as practical as possible, and as relevant as possible to today's world, business world. So as we know, the world is changing very fast in both technological terms and scientific terms. And we want our students to be always up to date with what is happening and be ready for the business world of today. Today, Halt is the first triple accredited US business school, which shows that what we're doing is working. And obviously that our students seem to be enjoying it. Then just to also take a look back at exactly the history. As I said, it was created in 1964, and today Halt has campuses all around the world, in London, Boston, San Francisco, Shanghai, Dubai. We also have an executive education campus in Ashridge, which is about an hour and a half away from London. And for masters, we have a campus in New York. About 2009, Halt launched what we call the Halt Prize, which is also the world's largest social enterprise competition, which brings about students from all universities around the world who can compete to launch their own enterprise, social enterprise, of course, with the seeding funds. So the winners get actually $1 million of seeding money to launch their company. So this is also something that was created by Halt not so long ago. And last but not least, we also have various programs that students can follow, from our pre-university program, which is a 2-week pre-university program for high school students who want to experience what it is like to study business at Halt, all the way to our PhDs and executive education programs. Halt covers it all pretty much. But I don't want to go into too much details about Halt and our history. The reason we are here today is more to speak about Halt Founders Lab. I've brought along Taylor. Hello, Taylor. And Kara. Hello, Kara.
Hi.
So Taylor is in charge today of Halt Founders Lab, and he is himself an entrepreneur. And Kara is here as a member, let's say, that has gone through the process of the Halt Founders Lab and launched her company through Halt, or with the help of Halt Founders Lab. So maybe you can both introduce yourself. Why don't we start with Taylor? Can you tell us a bit more about your role today and exactly what you're doing at Halt Founders Lab?
Sure. So hello, everyone. My name is Taylor. Yep, you can hear me. My name is Taylor, and I originally come from Italy. I grew up there, but I was born in the US. I'm a 4th-year student at Halt, currently finishing my major finance, and I'm as well for the 2nd year in the board of the Halt Founders Lab. This year I'm running it as director and sort of going through the program as it progresses throughout the year. So I suppose a lot of you that are listening today are interested in starting your own business, probably starting your own startup. So you have some ideas that you want to develop, and that is what the Halt Founders Lab sort of started for, is that we saw a lot of people in school that were just craving this desire to sort of build their company and sort of have a startup and sort of put it out there. But they never sort of found the support that they needed to go from the idea all the way to sort of the prototyping, the MVP position. So that's how the Halt Founders Lab started, and it's basically a 3-month program. So it continues each semester. And each week we have sort of new business topics, general about entrepreneurship, about startups, about how to raise money, for example, how to network, how to do your elevator pitch. So each week is sort of a theme. And within that theme, we either have a speaker event or a workshop where we sort of teach them hands-on these skills that either the speaker teaches the time before or sort of we teach them on the spot. So generally anything that will help them in the beginning when they're trying to get that idea sort of going, getting feedback, getting in front of people. And so that's what we have done. We've usually incubate about 20 to 30 startups per semester. We do receive a lot of applications, and it is selective for some parts. That's why we have made sort of a rule that anybody above 15 credits sort of can apply, just so that they have at least that base ground of knowledge, of business knowledge. Because a lot of the things that people come to us and they ask us and they say, I want to do this, I don't know how to do that. And we tell them, you will learn that in Halt. Halt is really good so far in giving, at least in my experience, that base ground of business knowledge, you know, what to do in the beginning, how to do a business model canvas, how to sort of do your value proposition, your mission statement, all these things that are very crucial. And so not only we have each week a different topic about business and entrepreneurship for the Halt Founders Lab, we also go to a lot of events. So each year we go to Hello Tomorrow, which is a deep tech entrepreneurship conference in Paris. It's 2 days long, 1,500 people. Sort of we go there to network with other entrepreneurs, network with other investors, and it's generally a really great atmosphere because we allow our founders to sort of put in practice what we're preaching every day. It's really fun environment, but it's also a bit challenging, right? Because you have to network with these people. So we feel like it's a really good teaching ground, and that's pretty much how the program operates. At the end of each semester and at the end of each program, ideally what we hope for each startup is that they have a product in their hands and something that they can actually start showing to other people and sort of receiving feedback on top of that.
Excellent. Thank you, Taylor. Very interesting to know how Halt Founders Lab work. And maybe now, Kara, you can tell us a bit about yourself, how you came to apply to Halt Founders Lab, how the whole process was, and where you are today, and what phase today you are of your business idea.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Clara. I grew up in Germany. I'm half German and I'm half from Seychelles. And I'm in my last year, so I've got 3 more weeks of this amazing degree to go, and then I'm done. And I'm currently finishing up Halt Founders Lab as well as part of my capstone. So instead of doing the traditional thesis, I'm actually doing Halt Founders Lab, so my startup actually as my capstone. So how I started joining Halt Founders Lab is, and I apologize if it's a bit loud, I'm on campus and class just finished. So I started with my own idea, which was not far from what I'm doing right now. So it's based on waste management and plastic pollution. And but the problem was that I was alone, so I was really struggling to, you know, like go about it and like start my own venture. But I'm not in the country where I was trying to launch it, and I don't have a team who's helping me. So through Halt Founders Lab, I applied, and you have to pitch in front of everyone in the club. So they call it the roasting session. It's really important. It's not the nicest thing to do, but I learned a lot from it because you have 3 minutes, you pitch your idea, and then everyone in the room kind of roasts everything about your business. So, and then from there, I started making connections, not just professionally, so not just in network events, but also within the club. So I found 2 other co-founders, and together we started joining Halt Press as well, which was also just explained to you right now, for those of you that don't know or didn't get it. So it's a social impact challenge. And yeah, and then you go meet Bill Clinton and hopefully get 1 million in seed capital. So we're doing that right now. Now I've come all the way from doing an idea alone on my own, which has a little bit to do with waste management and plastic pollution, to launching my business within the next 4 months with my two amazing co-founders that I met at Halt in HFL, launching it in Angola and actually taking it to a point where we incorporated clean tech as well. So it's going really great right now. We're around 4 months away from launching it, hopefully, and then we're all moving to Angola quite soon as well.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent, Cara. So congratulations and bravo on doing this and you know, persevering on getting your idea through. Can you tell us a bit more about you know, what were the, would you say, what process in the whole Founders Labs 3 months program was it that helped you the most, or that marked you the most, so that you thought, wow, this is I'm lucky to have been able to do this?
So I think what I got initially what I got the most out of HFL is to just start it, because if you don't really have an ecosystem where you can, you know, effectively go and get feedback, get professional feedback, find people that maybe, I don't know how to code an app, for example. There are people in HFL that are specialized in coding apps, or have people in other universities that are engineers, that are coders, whatever they are, that can find those connections. So, and the second thing is that they really push you to pitch. So I've never pitched before. It was the first time I pitched. And once you kind of went past that threshold of never having pitched before, an idea that you're not sure of, it starts to come natural. So now I'm more confident about like my ideas, and even if I'm not scared to pitch it to a big like ecosystem like HFL, for example. And HFL also helps you get into other like networking events and ecosystems such as the Vertex, which is a student-led startup summit within HALT as well. So it was created by HALT students, but they try to take it all over London. And then also, of course, like I already said, HALT Prize. So from HFL, I went through Vertex, and now I'm in HALT Prize as well. So those are like the things I got most out of it. It's just kind of the fear of, you know, not talking about it to, I'm just going to pitch it everywhere.
Excellent. It's a mix between the right tools, the confidence, and the network in the end, knowing the right people to be able to go to and feel more and more confident and have a better and better product. Excellent. And Taylor, coming back at you, I do believe that you told me last time that you were also an entrepreneur yourself. So can you tell us a bit more about, you know, your sort of a background and how you ended up being on the board of HALT Founders Lab?
Sure. Well, I guess I could say the, you know, cliche story. Oh, when I was a kid, I used to sell these things, you know, and I did. Of course, you know, those things happen. But I really started getting into sort of entrepreneurship and doing my own thing is when I wanted to become more independent, sort of from the people around me and my family, you know, and that's why I decided I had heard about Bitcoin. So actually this goes way back. I'm not going to go through everything, but I started with Bitcoin. I saw this opportunity. It was mining, like you can mine Bitcoin to get it back. And I saw they were trading at $20 at the time. $20 at the time, and I realized, okay, that could be something. So I ventured into that, and then later on, and what is currently my main operations is I'm an e-commerce retailer. So I do partnerships with brands, manufacturers, and I make exclusive relationships where I can sort of sell their products on online websites such as eBay, Amazon, and Alibaba, even omnichannel. That is one part, and then the other part is into my consulting business, where I actually consult businesses that are interested in selling better online, selling better on Amazon. So that was my idea, and I kind of wanted to, like when I heard about the HFL, as you said, it launched in 2016, and I went to the San Francisco campus. I actually came back to London, and I wanted to be part of this. You know, I really enjoyed it. I was really passionate about this startup world, startup ecosystems, and I said, my business was not exactly a startup, right? So like there's a difference between a small business and a startup. And I didn't believe that was the right fit for my business, the incubator. So I decided, you know, they opened up a position for boards. So each year there are new positions that actually open up. And I decided, I would like to apply and actually be the one that sort of coexists with the actual program and sees and helps all these entrepreneurs, because I didn't have sort of a stellar idea myself, but I still wanted to be part of this world. And so that's the reason why. And it's been amazing so far. As Kara was saying, like, it's just the community that gets built around it. Like, people go through the program and then they go to bigger and better things, and then we have new people in the program that actually have issues that those people already have solved. So we put them in touch through there. As Kara said, like, she met two of her co-founders in the HFL, and they sort of met and like created this new thing. So I think these past 3 years, has been fairly good.
Excellent. Thank you. And can you tell us a bit more about the other members of the board, and how does that work? How does the process? How does somebody really apply, and how long does it take for you to choose their business idea or not?
For the board or for the startups, the applications? Because if it's for, can you hear me? If it's for the startups, those applications, we start them at the beginning of each term. So in September and in January, we start them, and they run for about 3 weeks. And in those 3 weeks, we sort of ask people to, in the form, you'll see everything, but to submit different things, business plan, sort of a pitch, who are the co-founders, who's in your team, etc. And so we receive those applications. And during those 3 weeks, we already start of filtering through, revisioning them. We look at all of them. Some of them, we flag them and we say, okay, we need to clarify some things. So we actually bring them in for an interview, and those people that sort of pass the interview and pass the initial screening get accepted in the program, and sort of that runs till the end of term, pretty much. So that's the process. It's 3 weeks at the beginning of each term.
And regarding
the board,
other members of the board, who else is on the board?
Exactly. So the board, we're actually 3 this term. So we have a head of partnerships. He works with the relations that we have with internal mentors. We have a lot of mentors, a lot of organizations that we work with. We know people that work at Y Combinator, another very famous incubator, Google campus, and here in London. So we have those partnerships, and he works with that, and he's really good. He actually has started and actually founded 3 startups, and he's had massive experience in sales as well. Like he's very knowledgeable about the startup world. And then we have Paula, so he's Lars, he's from Norway, and then we have Paula from Colombia. She's really good because she's like sort of the brains of the organization. She knows exactly what is going on at every time. And she sort of like leads us into like, okay, this is the program for this time, that time. So we don't really like to put names to each other, because at the end of the day, it's totally a team effort. We all do it together. We decide together with a professor, of course, what goes on into the program, what we should include, what might not include, what is working, what is not working. So we receive constantly feedback, and so we're improving the program as we go on. So I have to give credit to them. It's been absolutely amazing, and I don't think we would have been able to sort of incubate 30 startups in the first term, and now 15. So it's been really great having them with me.
Amazing. No, great. And this is a question to maybe both of you as well, because obviously some people are born, as Taylor was joking earlier, some people are born with a sort of entrepreneurial spirit, selling things since a very young age. Other people come into it at a later stage. Can you tell me a bit about both of your experiences of how Halt helped develop this entrepreneurial spirit, whether it's that you came already with the spirit already somewhat alive, and then hopefully Halt helped you to bloom it, or that you arrived maybe with a turned off spirit, entrepreneurial spirit, and then discovered it at Halt. Can you tell me a bit more about your personal experience, and maybe how Halt helped you to grow this entrepreneurial or leadership spirit?
Kara, do you want to take this, Kara, or should I go first? You can go, please.
So I feel like Halt has done that quite uniquely in many ways. I'm not just saying that because I'm always loyal to Halt, but talking to other like some of my friends from other universities, I've really realized that Halt specifically focuses on getting the entrepreneur out of you. So, for example, we have classes, we have majors that are for entrepreneurship. I took the class, I'm a marketing major, but I'm still an entrepreneur, if that makes sense. So, for example, I had the course Principles of Entrepreneurship, and like Taylor already said, we learn about business model canvas. You will hear this so many times, guys, but it's really important. And then the first day I got to Halt, Ronan, which is the dean, told us hashtag growth mindset. And honestly, he repeats it quite often, but it really sticks with you and it really makes you think, because as an entrepreneur, that is the one key thing that you need to have. You need to have growth mindset. You need to be open for new things. You need to keep your eyes open for like new trends, like new innovations, or even if it's just something very small about an existing product, you're already an entrepreneur. If you found that niche, this like new thing for something that already exists, they really, I hope they really focus on that. And then one thing that really helped me is also they have careers connections forums. So they have them every year, and they invite all types of businesses over, and consultancies, and also companies that help you find jobs like hiredgrad.com, etc. And so I got my internship there with a startup actually, which honestly taught me the most I could have ever learned from a company, because instead of going into a big company, for me personally, I got the most out of actually having an internship with a startup. And I really learned how all the dynamics work, how like all the executives plus like all the interns sit at the same table, work together and work on the same exact problem. So for me, this is kind of where I got the most out of it. And so I can only tell all of you guys that are listening right now, when you come to Halt, really appreciate the entrepreneurial spirit of this university, but also try and like find what works for you. So even though we should all be entrepreneurs, of course, like some of us are better in the more corporate world, and some of us are totally fine being in the completely social impact world, and that's okay. You just need to find what works for you, whether while still understanding that we're all entrepreneurs in this university, whatever major you have. So this is kind of like, it's really like a big mixture for me of all different things that made me the entrepreneur that I'm graduating as now.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the complete answer. But that's exactly what I wanted to hear, a bit more of your own experience as to how you bloomed into who you are today. And we did get some questions from the attendees, which are more related to, I would say, admissions. And there's one question: do you have to be an entrepreneur to attend Halt University? No, and that's of course not. Most of our students, I mean, not most, but a lot of our students come into Halt without having that, like I said before, without having that entrepreneurial spirit alive. But as Kara was clearly saying, they all end their courses obviously with a very, very lively entrepreneurial spirit, whether or not they want to take that into creating their own sort of startup, or if they prefer going into a corporate sort of enterprise. Regardless, the entrepreneurial spirit is something that's good to have, because it's a fighter spirit, right? It's the spirit of knowing to do things yourself, to try and fight through any issues that may arise. And this is something that every company will want you to have in any case, whether you work for the big corporate world or you work for your own self. But great. And Taylor, what's your take on Halt and how, you know, the courses, the network, everything, as Kara was saying?
No.
Personally speaking.
Yeah, I think Kara was actually spot on. It is true that, like, it sort of depends, right? Everybody has a different style, you know, everybody prefers different things. I'll say my personal experience, when I came, I was already interested in business, like quite a bit, but I knew that I had people around me that were not as much. Like I could tell, you know, that they were not necessarily in the entrepreneurial vibe, but they liked finance, they liked marketing, you know, they liked these other different things. And what I discovered is that they actually got much more entrepreneurial as they took those classes. Because one thing of HALT students in general is that we all sort of think the same way. We have the same sort of, we're all so different, but in a certain way, we all like the same things, so to speak, right? Like building companies, sort of being interested in marketing, all these different business topics. And so when you have all these conversations with people, they just excite you so much when you're sort of thinking about ideas or sort of speaking to other people about projects that you can do. Even the projects themselves in HALT, one way or another, if you like it or not, you're going to be pushed out of your comfort zone. And I think it's going to be really good for all of you. That is because you don't know, maybe you have no idea what entrepreneurship means. You have no idea what public speaking means. And like when you actually go do these things, some people I've been for 4 years in this school and I've seen people progress. They actually just love public speaking now, even though at the beginning they certainly dreaded it. So it's really great. I mean, it is university, so obviously, you know, it should change you and you should grow with it. But I definitely think that if business is something that you are interested in, even not necessarily business itself, but something that you can monetize on, so you can create into a business, a passion, I still think it's absolutely crucial to know these skills, and like, especially if you want to go in entrepreneurship itself and start your own company. But for me, it's been really sort of eye-opening. It's shown me a completely different perspective about business that I had no idea before coming to university.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Simon. Great, and we did get two questions from the audience saying how flexible is the bachelor's degree? So I don't know, because flexibility is something that we speak of a lot at HALT, and it's something that we like to sort of put forward, the flexibility in every sense of the way. So I don't know if you guys want to answer that question. It's a very broad question, but I guess you can answer it however you understand it, because either way it's quite flexible. You want to start, maybe Tara, again? Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. If you want us to be more specific, just explain quickly what you want us to say with how flexible a bachelor's degree is. I don't think I really understand what you're trying to ask, just so I can answer properly. But where do students go after graduation? I can tell you that. I'm graduating I'm done in May, so my last exam will be in May, and between that and graduation, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna apply for my master's, perhaps. I haven't decided that yet. But I'm trying to sort out everything with the startup with my two co-founders right now. And after graduation, we're all planning to actually move to Angola. Two of us are Germans, so you can imagine, like, this is for some of us quite a big step to just move from Germany, Europe to like Angola in like a culture we don't understand, language we don't understand, with only like one goal to start business there and have a social impact there. So, and from my friends, for example, some of them are going to do a master's degree, some of them actually will out. And, but many already have job offers, even though they're not even done yet. They already got job offers, or they started applying for different internships or job opportunities. So there's quite a lot of things that you can go for. Like I said in the beginning, it really depends on what kind of also works for you. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And for Taylor, I think you also have already a job offer, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe you can tell us a bit more about that as well.
Yeah. I went totally opposite, you know, to what Kara did. Yeah, I was sort of applying for jobs both in London and in North America, and I was trying to see, you know, if there was something was appealing to me. And I got an offer for 2 years at AT&T, so it would be a B2B sales position. So I'll be working with executives and showing them the current accounts that we have and sort of what software AT&T can offer to their clients. So it was really good. It was the best offer that I got out of all the positions where I applied to. But I will obviously still keep working. I can do them. I have automated them enough right now that I can take on a full-time job, which I feel like is good in this part of my career, I guess. I mean, it's still the beginning. Yes, I have personal experience, but I feel like I also have a lot to learn from people that obviously have been in the industry for way longer than me. So I went down that route, and I was pretty happy with what I got. Yeah, definitely 2 years.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. And with regards to the flexibility, I mean, Kamal didn't specify exactly what he meant, but maybe I can say a word or two about the flexibility of our program. And our program is very flexible in diverse ways. First of all, you can choose to rotate. As Taylor was saying, he was in San Francisco, and now he's in London. So there's a certain flexibility in the region where you decide to take your bachelor program. And you can go for a year, or you can go for a summer course or summer session to Shanghai or Dubai, for example. So there's that flexibility to a certain extent. Furthermore, there's also the flexibility of our electives, meaning that you have the choice of choosing the classes you want to take depending on whichever class you prefer the most, or on the schedule of the classes. So we have a lot of students who take classes only in the morning, so that in the afternoon or evening they can work, or they can work on their own projects, or they can simply work to make money because they're maybe living off of their revenues that from their evening jobs, let's say. So there's the flexibility also in the timing and the scheduling of your timetable, I would say. And then he just responded, I mean, do they certificates the main curriculum such as new technology in the business? That's a very good question, Kamal. So we do have, and I don't know if Cara, Taylor, did any of you take the computer science graduate diploma or the design graduate diploma, or know of anybody who took them?
No.
I know some, yeah, like they already graduated, but yeah, some people took, for example, the what's it called, like the coding, so Python class.
Computer science.
And they get, I think they got like some sort of certificate for that as well.
Yeah, so that's something that HALT is very much after. Maybe it's a question more for me in the sense of the strategy that we're heading towards. Today we have 5 majors, which include management, finance, entrepreneurship, accounting, and marketing. But we're looking, and obviously, as I said at the very beginning of my presentation, we want to remain relevant, we want to remain on top of the trends, and obviously computer science is one of the big trends that are upcoming now. So we did develop a computer science diploma that students can take on top of their bachelor. But I think in the near future, we might be looking into adding new majors as well. This is something that obviously at HALT, we're very flexible in every sense of the word, like I was saying. So we're always trying to find what is best for our students and adding it onto the program. For today, in today's world, let's say, we have those 5 majors, and plus you can add a computer science diploma or a design diploma for those that are more interested in the creative industries. But I hope that answers your question, Kamal. Great. Otherwise, I mean, on my end, I think everything is super clear. I think you guys have done a fantastic job at, being the entrepreneurs you deserve to be, and it's quite impressive what you've managed to amount to. And congratulations, Cara, for that big move that's coming up. Angola does sound like a big step. So good luck with that. And Taylor, well, you're going to be in the US, so it's still pretty cool. And AT&T should be fun to work with. I mean, B2B with AT&T must be a very big deal, so you'll definitely be learning a lot there. Unless anybody else from the participants has any questions, I think we can call this a day for the webinar. It's been very nice to have you, Taylor and Cara. Thank you very much for your time again.
Thank you for having us.
And in either way, we'll be in touch because we have, I think, a lot of things talking about. We started earlier.
Oh yeah.
But good luck to the both of you, and I hope to catch you around sometime soon on campus.
Definitely. You know where we are. It's the UG.
And thank you for everyone who's participating. Yes, regarding the admission criteria for Indians specifically, that was one of the questions. This is very specific to you, Samart. So what I propose is that I will contact you separately to tell you exactly what the criteria are, because it will depend obviously on the program that you're looking for. It will depend on many things actually. So I think that the easiest would be if we speak about this offline or at a second level later on. If you can just drop me your email, I will contact you by email or your phone number, and I will call you as soon as this call is done. Great. Thank you very much, Taylor and Kara. I wish you all the best and see you around. Take care. Thanks for joining us.